Check, check. Mr. Mayor, we're ready to proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. We will call to order the Riverside City Council meeting for Monday, December 1st, 2025 at 6:02 PM. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Brown? Mr. Denning?
Here.
Ms. Fry?
Here.
Mr. Joseph?
Yes.
Ms. Lomach? Yes. Mr. Maxfield? Mayor Williams?
Here.
Move to excuse.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to excuse our absent members. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. We have an agenda in front of us. Is this agenda as presented to be approved? Is it correct as presented?
Yes.
Stop giggling.
Second.
Run a meeting here. I just got here.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Agenda is approved. If you're able, please join us to rise and pledge allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. If there's anyone with us tonight who wishes to speak before the council, we have forms in the back that can be turned in the front to the clerk. We'll have that at a little bit later portion of our meeting. We've all had a chance to look at our meeting minutes from our November 17th council meeting. Is there a motion to approve those as published?
Move to approve. Second.
We have a motion from Mr. Denning and a second from Mr. Joseph to approve the meeting minutes as published. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. At this time, we have some special guests with us, and we are going to be swearing in our new Riverside City Council members for the terms which will begin January 21st, 2026.
January
January 1st.
January 1st?
21st.
January 1st? I need to stop talking.
You got this, Pete.
Do we have any of our three new council members who would like to be sworn in first?
I nominate Steve.
Steve, save the best for first, as the saying goes. I'm going to the podium
Something like that.
for some swearing.
Are you good? Did you already?
Okay. Excellent. All right. So here's our cheat sheets. So, Mr. Gaby, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Steve Gaby,
I, Steve Gaby,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution
that I'll support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and of the state of Ohio,
and the state of Ohio,
and will obey the laws
and obey the laws
thereof,
thereof,
and that I will,
and that I will,
in all respects,
in all respects,
uphold and enforce
uphold and enforce
the provisions of the Charter
the provisions of the Charter
and ordinances of
and the ordinance of
the city of Riverside, Ohio,
the city of Riverside, Ohio,
and will faithfully discharge
and will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of Riverside City Council,
of Riverside City Council,
upon which I'm about to enter.
about on which about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. I'll sign these as soon as, yeah, let's get, if you could sign both copies. Jim will notarize them, you keep one and you keep one.
Oh, one under.
And Jim will sign and notarize them, give you one before you leave. All right, thank you.
Picture of my family.
Absolutely. Steve's family, come on up, take some photos.
cheeseburger.
I say Joe Pizza.
Oh, definitely.
Okay. We're just gonna hang out.
Good evening. If you need a cheat sheet, it's right there. Okay. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Angel Patterson,
I, Angel Patterson,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and of the state of Ohio,
and of the state of Ohio,
and will obey the laws thereof,
and will obey the laws thereof,
and that I will,
and that I will,
in all respects,
in all respects,
uphold and enforce
uphold and enforce
the provisions of the Charter
the provisions of the Charter
and ordinances of
and ordinances of
the city of Riverside, Ohio,
the city of Riverside, Ohio,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of Riverside City Council,
of Riverside City Council,
upon which I'm about to enter.
upon which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations, Angel.
Thank you.
All right. Sign both copies. Okay, thank you. And you want to do some photos? All right. The Angel Fan Club can come up for some photos.
No, not really. We already discussed this. We're good.
And Frida? Is that Angel's daughter? Is that Angel's daughter?
One of them.
I can
the
hardly
oldest-
tell.
The oldest one had to
They
work
look
with
nothing
them.
alike. It's hard to tell.
That one's mine. That one's like me, though. Okay, anyway.
So wonderful.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Frida Patterson,
I, Frida Patterson,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and of the state of Ohio,
and of the state of Ohio,
and will obey the laws thereof,
and will obey the laws thereof,
and that I will,
and that I will,
in all respects,
in all respects,
uphold and enforce
uphold and enforce
the provisions of the Charter
the provisions of the Charter
and ordinances of
and ordinances of
the city of Riverside, Ohio,
the city of Riverside, Ohio,
and will faithfully discharge
and will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of Riverside City Council,
of Riverside City Council,
upon which I'm about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations, Frida.
Thank you.
Sign both copies there. And Jim will notarize them. Anyone like to join Councilmember-elect Patterson up for some photos? And I'd be remiss if I didn't invite Brenda Fry. If you'd like to come take the oath, since you'll be starting a new term on the 1st. We get them all out of the way now. Okay. Brenda, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Brenda Fry,
I, Brenda Fry,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and of the state of Ohio,
and of the state of Ohio,
and will obey the laws thereof,
and will obey the laws thereof,
and that I will,
and that I will,
in all respects,
in all respects,
uphold and enforce
uphold and enforce
the provisions of the Charter
the provisions of the Charter
and ordinances of
and ordinances of
the city of Riverside, Ohio,
the city of Riverside, Ohio,
and will faithfully discharge
and will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of Riverside City Council,
of Riverside City Council,
upon which I'm about to enter.
upon which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations, Brenda.
You want a picture? No?
Would the four council members who just took the oath like to come up for a photo real quick? And in the meantime, Jim, I can notarize it. You first stay up here so you can grab more copies. Literally, you notarize it. So we did get a total of the four. Each one would love to take one. Or a few.
Got it.
If you want to walk up, please feel free.
Really?
There's your copy.
Thank you.
I didn't put you on the spot. I just thought she was just another council. I was like, oh, I should call up Brenda.
It's fine.
I guess she got elected also.
I was like, oh, yeah.
Brenda, are you?
To renew it.
Oh, I guess.
Check your
I
driver's
guess they do
license.
those things.
All right, I have no idea what he wrote.
Yeah, I'm glad I did too.
It's just non-agenda.
That was right on.
Yeah, it's all very straightforward.
Yeah, well, it was, maybe put it into that, we'll see.
Is there an underbit of water anywhere?
I knew that wasn't doable, but I could not have explained it that well.
Thank you.
I don't know, we got an extra bottle here.
I just grabbed another one out of the fridge because I was kind of thirsty.
Thank you. Well, thank you to all our guests that joined us this evening. We'll move on in our agenda, of which we have, Madam Clerk, there are no slips turned in for public comment on agenda items. Is that
Correct.
correct? We've had one slip turned in for a non-agenda item. So we will move on to unfinished business, of which we have an ordinance, Ordinance 25-0-873. Mr. Manager, this is the second reading, public hearing, potential adoption of the budget, or the supplemental.
Yes, this is the fourth quarter supplemental, and there are no changes to any of the numbers or items as discussed at the last meeting.
Okay.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion from Mr. Denning and a second from the Deputy Mayor. The Riverside City Charter allows for a ordinance to be read by title only unless a council member requests otherwise. Madam Clerk, would you please read this ordinance by title only?
Ordinance number 250873, an ordinance to make supplemental appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures, fourth quarter of the City of Riverside, State of Ohio, for the period January 1 through December 31, 2025.
I will now open the public hearing for ordinance 25-0-874 at 6:17 PM. Anyone wishing to comment on this, please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and please keep your comments to 3 minutes. Seeing no one and hearing no one come forward, I will close the public hearing for ordinance 25-0-873 at 6:18 PM. Is there any further comment among members of council? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Denning?
Yes.
Ms. Fry?
Yes.
Mr. Joseph?
Yes.
Ms. Lomach? Mayor Williams?
Yes. Motion carries. We'll now move on to new business, of which we have an ordinance and, first reading of an ordinance and 3 resolutions. The first ordinance, ordinance 25-0-874. This is the issuance for the debt we carry on this building.
Correct. This is the ordinance that allows us to roll the debt for another year. So this is, the numbers that are in this ordinance, the 6.1 million is contemplated in the budget. So the idea is that we would issue those notes early next year, use the proceeds to pay off the prior year's debt. And then this also, according to the budget that was just adopted last month, pays down effectively the outstanding on the debt by about 5%.
Move to approve. Second.
We have a motion from Mr. Denning and a second from Mr. Joseph. The Riverside City Charter allows for an ordinance to be read by title only unless a council member requests otherwise. Madam Clerk, would you please read this ordinance by title only?
Ordinance number 250874, an ordinance providing for the issuance of not to exceed 6.1 million building improvements special obligation bond anticipation notes series 2025-2026 renewal by the City of Riverside, Ohio, in anticipation of the issuance of bonds, providing for the pledge of revenues for the payment of such notes and declaring an emergency.
Is there any further discussion among members of council? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Denning?
Yes.
Mr. Joseph?
Yes.
Ms. Fry?
Yes.
Ms. Lomach? Mayor Williams?
Yes. We'll now move on to our resolutions, of which we have 3. The first resolution, Resolution 25-R-3062. This is for some work on some detective vehicles.
Correct. As we discussed, I believe at last meeting, part of the supplemental that was just adopted by council included some additional appropriation in the capital equipment fund. Those are monies that we're trying to spend down at our auditor's recommendation. The intent here is to use some of those funds to move forward with purchasing 3 replacement detective vehicles. Acting Chief Jackson's here as well if you have any specific questions for her, but those vehicles are well past their service life, and this is a good opportunity to lock in some competitive pricing this year.
Move to approve.
We have a motion from Mr. Denning and a second from Ms. Lomach. All those in favor of Resolution 25-R-3062 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries.
Real quick though on that, was that not something that falls into our enterprise agreement?
No, those are not leased vehicles.
Okay.
We currently lease only the police cruisers.
Okay.
The next one is a surplus resolution, 25-R-3063. Anything you need to add to this, Mr. Manager?
Nope, just items that are past their service life and that we need to get rid of. The only thing I'll add is that the Vector truck currently used by the Public Service Department is a part of this request. The actual chamber that holds the vacuum essentially shattered, so that truck is basically worthless and worth only its scrap value currently. That is a truck that is budgeted to be replaced using stormwater dollars next year. But this resolution will allow us to get rid of it because it's basically a very large paperweight.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion from Ms. Lomach and a second from Mr. Joseph. All those in favor of Resolution 25-R-3063 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. And the final resolution, Mr. Manager, this is for some work on Woodman.
Yes, this is the authorization to proceed with the change order for the stretch of Woodman just north of Eastman up to Burkhart to repave that area as we discussed at the last meeting. And in answer to a question that Councilmember Denning had about potential savings for this project, we did put some feelers out, and according to Beth, we can confidently estimate about $50,000 in overall savings of about 9 or 10% on this contract by doing it this route with ODOT's approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion for Ms. Lomash and a second for Mr. Joseph to approve Resolution 25-R-3064. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Moving on to public comment on non-agenda items, we have one slip that's been turned in, and I believe Mr. Gosnell is with us tonight.
Good evening.
Good
My name is
evening.
Tim Gosnell, and I live at 12 Beatrice Drive here in Riverside. And I want to thank you, first of all, for the time. I appreciate it tonight.
Absolutely.
I know I got 3 minutes, so I'll try to be quick. As I'm sure you all know what I came to talk about. I've been talking about stormwater since this all came about. So I had some time to do a little bit of work, put a little bit of effort into trying to figure out the stormwater fee structures, and I understand that you're working on it and that you're going to look at it again in January. But I just want to kind of give you just some real quick one. Xenia is currently at $475 per residential unit regardless. That is $14.25 a quarter, or $59 a year. Trotwood is at $5 per ERU, which is $15 a quarter, or $60 a year. West Carrollton is at $6, which is $18 a quarter, or $72 a year. Dayton is $609, which is $18.27 a quarter, or $73.08 a year. Huber Heights is at $839, based on Tier 3, which is all my house turned out to be a Tier 3. So Huber Heights is $839 after the senior discount, which makes it $25.17 a quarter, or $100.68 a year. Centerville, $950, $28.50 a quarter, or $114 a year. Based on the fee structure that we currently have, that we haven't agreed to change, or that you're looking at, my house turns out to be $18 a month, $54 a quarter, or $216 a year, which is well more than double any of the numbers I just read off to you. I'm not being mean about it. I'm just trying to give you an idea. I don't know what you guys were thinking when you looked at this fee structure and approved it, the mayor and the council, or if you looked at it, or if you thought, that seems pretty reasonable. But when you look at what the other cities are charging, and you're not doing, it doesn't rain any more in Xenia or any less in Xenia or Trotwood or West Carrollton than it does in Riverside, Ohio. And these fees are clearly double. And again, my complaint is, as always, seniors and businesses. We're supposed to be pro-business in Riverside, and our seniors cannot afford these kind of rates. And I used my house because I'm 4,117 feet of impervious surface, and it's a Tier 3. So I didn't want to get somebody else's house and try to figure it out. Young lady was very helpful today, to give me the numbers today. But I just wanted to kind of give you the numbers again and ask again that I know you're looking at it. Hopefully, the new council members and the council members that are left are going to take a real hard look at this thing and try to come up with something that is more reasonable and more fair to the citizens of Riverside, because, ladies and gentlemen, this is not fair. It's my opinion. I'm allowed to have it, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. We'll move on to discussion items, of which I believe the city manager has a few planned for us. So I'll turn the mic over to him.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The first is I'll introduce Ms. Holtz, who will provide an update on the Source Water Protection Program. That's a contract that we have with Dayton. So Naya, take it away, and I'll try to advance the slides as we go here. Can you go ahead and start talking?
Yep, I'll give
There
you
we
a
go.
little.
I gotta hit the level
Yeah.
here.
So, good evening, members of the council. Some of this information you may recall from when our partner agencies from Montgomery County came to speak with you in September, but I will touch on some of that again, just to highlight the importance of this program and our relationship with the City of Dayton and Montgomery County Public Health, and give you more information for the background of our contract relationship with them. So what exactly is being protected? We have in our area a great resource, the Great Miami Buried Aquifer. It is actually a sole aquifer, source aquifer, which means that 50% of the drinking water for the community comes from there, and there isn't a reasonable alternative to that drinking source. For our region, 1.6 million people get their drinking water from this source. That's approximately 1.5 trillion gallons of water. So we have to make sure that that resource is protected and maintained so everyone has clean, safe drinking water for our community. In order to make sure that it is safe, well-maintained, and it becomes a sustainable, renewable asset for the region in the Great Miami Valley area, the City of Dayton worked with the Ohio EPA in 1995 to launch the Source Water Protection Program. But this doesn't have boundaries. Groundwater flows wherever it's going to go, from the high to low point. And so they wanted to get other jurisdictions involved, and Mad River Township signed up in 1989, now Riverside, to join this Source Water Protection Program. And we continue that legacy through this contract program to protect the groundwater in this aquifer. But why does it matter to us today? Well, for our community, there's so much of it that is covered by these protection areas, and we have two of the larger well fields that are in our community. When I first saw this number, that 67% of our community is covered by the Source Water Protection Area, I was shocked. I knew that we had a big part in it, more than other communities, but that number, wow. And anywhere that there's a contamination, if there is, it'll flow directly into one of those well fields. And if that happens within a year, depending on where it falls, it could get into that drinking water if something doesn't happen and we're not on it. We work with Montgomery County Public Health to inspect 95 businesses that are within those areas. They do the physical inspections. We provide them research and staff support through community development. We've done 95 in 2004, and we don't have those solid numbers for this year, but we will provide those because we are required through our contract. But this land is very sensitive because of that contamination. And we also have two Superfund sites within Riverside, if those weren't aware. One of them is Long Valley Pipe, which is managed by Ohio EPA. We also have a brownfield just across the street on the Danish Tray landfill, and one more, which is the DAP property along Springfield Street. So how do we continue to make sure that the drinking water, and we're doing our part, is protected? We have a contract with the City of Dayton through the Community Development Department to make sure our staff is working with the community to provide public education and outreach activities, primarily through digital outreach on our website and Children's Water Festival. We also work with any businesses that were in that area to let them know that, one, they're in that Source Water Protection Area, and two, there might be some possible grant funding to help them mediate some of the risks that come along with being in those sensitive areas. We work also with Dayton, monitoring them, the monitoring wells, oversight with land uses, but it's not trying to be a burden. It's trying to see how we can work together to make sure everyone has, like I keep saying, safe water to drink. And one of those things that the contract provides is there is compensation for that contract period, and it's a 2-year contract. So for 2026, this is what's the estimated contract would be, and we have it for 2027, should we go into that contract agreement.
And just for the avoidance of doubt, that is monies that the City of Dayton pays to
Correct.
us that get earmarked for the Community Development Department to support those activities that Naya just talked about in terms of helping to manage this program. So this is a revenue generator for the city. It's also a regulatory program. Any questions? No action for you tonight, but I did want to give you a heads up that we did receive that draft contract from Dayton. It's been through legal review, and we're waiting on a final version from them. I should have that for you at the next meeting, though. So we'll bring that contract forward for your approval at that time.
Not a question, but a comment. I know that in the last several months, one of the larger developments in the source water protection area was the relocation and expansion of MSD on Springfield Street. And Nye and I both had the opportunity to get to know the folks there, the general contractor, and I just wanted to say publicly that both the people at MSD and the general contractor, the builder, had very nice things to say about NIA and helping them navigate not just the source water protection area, but also a well field area, also zoning and city boundaries. So there's a lot of moving parts, source water protection being one of them. But from the folks in the business community, they were very happy to deal with NIA and help navigate through that and to a very successful project and a very nice business expansion here in our city. So since she was bringing up source water, I thought a great time to mention that that had been said by people in the community about our staff members.
May I say something?
Sure.
Yeah, I would also like to add that I've been very pleased to see how active she is with water protection. And I hope that somebody from the council will get involved with the Children's Festival and going down and participating, because that's a real treat.
Well,
I've done that several years.
Yes, no, and I do want to thank Naya and all of her staff for all the work that they do. This is a very small department that juggles quite a lot of plates, and this is big work because if, again, something that threatens the source water area threatens the entire region. There are a number of ground wells in that area too that people use just in their homes to draw on this water to drink. And so it really is a regional responsibility that we are trying to carry with our little slice of the pie in this metro, this side of the metro. So thank you again, Naya, for all your work.
Absolutely.
Next meeting, I'll also have a contract renewal for you for property management services with Colliers. That's for the property maintenance of this building. There are really no substantive changes to the contract, just a modest monthly increase on the monthly amount that we pay them plus the labor rate. The total contract amount is under $32,000. And that pays for basically the oversight of things like the groundskeeping, the maintenance, if we have to have emergency tenant calls for, HVAC and other things. So I'll have that. They also manage like the contract services for the janitorial and cleaning supplies, all the other elements that go into running a building or two like this. So I will have that for you, and I'm happy to pass that along and answer any questions you have on that. One other point of interest, I hope, for folks in the community. A couple of years ago, council adopted ordinances regarding electric and natural gas aggregation. We have not been in a position to actually start the natural gas aggregation program, in large part because the pricing in the market just was not conducive for it. That has changed, and this year, about a month and a half ago, well, maybe a little bit longer, early October, the MVCC, Miami Valley Communications Council, which is the aggregator for a number of our neighbors to the south, they went and locked in a rate through their supplier, I think around 6.5 cents. We, through our supplier at SOPEC, managed to lock in a rate that's slightly less than that, about 6.3, 6.4 cents. So the good news is folks should be getting something in the mail. That's a mailer from SOPEC, very similar to how we rolled out electric aggregation, that describes what the rate is. The provider will be AEP. It is an opt-out, so you are able to call AEP and opt out of that to go on your own contract or however you want to handle that. But I did want to let folks know that that program will be starting due to our ability to get some pretty competitive pricing in place. We're all expecting a pretty cold winter, so I'm hopeful that by locking in this rate, we will be positioning our community well to weather that, if you will, and get through, hopefully not too much snow, but at least the winter months. So keep your eyes out for that. You can also find a lot of information about it on our website, which Ms. Llewellyn has done an excellent job of posting all of that, including the numbers to dial in order to opt out.
If you don't opt out, it's automatic, right?
Yeah, you'll be enrolled, unless you're
Right.
already under an existing contract for service, yeah. So two other quick things. If you have the chance to go visit our website, please do under the solid waste collection section. Katie and Beth and Michaela have done an awesome job creating a calendar that illustrates how the transition from trash services will work for the remainder of the year. And I'll go ahead and actually pull it up here real fast, just so folks can see if I can work the computer and talk at the same time, which I'm obviously an expert at.
Obviously. With 3 monitors, by the
I know,
way.
right? It's a pan off.
I'm lucky I got one by myself this week. Usually Jesse and I are sharing.
All right, so if you go to the residents tab, under
Monitor
waste
envy.
collection,
Yes. Legitimate monitor envy.
there's a whole section down here that describes the transition that will basically start here in about 2 weeks, the week of the 15th. And underneath each one of those, there's a helpful calendar that has some color coding that basically describes when Rumpke's going to be doing certain things, when Republic's going to be doing things, and when customers can either leave their cans at the curb, or pull their Rumpke carts back. I'm hopeful that the burden on the resident is somewhat light in the sense that you just need to keep your eye out for when your Rumpke carts will be delivered. When you get them, you can store them until your last Republic trash collection day. And on your last Republic day, just leave your cans out at the curb, and they should take them. If they don't, then we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But they should be around to go through collecting those carts, and folks will be left with their Rumpke carts to use going forward in the coming year. The only wrinkle here is that there is a holiday, of course, Christmas and New Year's fall right in this time as well, but this helpfully sort of explains when the various routes for various days will be collected throughout the week and gets us through here into mid-January. So folks are more than welcome to check this information out. We'll have some social media posts about it as well. Keep your eyes posted on this webpage and our Facebook for any other information that may change. But again, we're pretty confident in this timing and expecting, hopefully, knock on wood, a fairly smooth rollout. So that's all I had on trash.
Could I make a suggestion that you might make some paper copies of this and put them out in the
Yes.
lobby so that residents could pick them up?
Yes, we will certainly do that as well.
I was actually going to go door to door and hand them out.
Do you have like an automated messaging? I would like put that in the front, like when someone calls the city's office, like have that message on repeat. I feel like that's gonna be a very commonly asked question.
Yeah, we'll look into that too. Yep. The last item I have for you all is I will be bringing the annual budget book to council next week for adoption. And one of the reasons that I described that we were kind of holding that as a separate track aside from the ordinance is we were doing quite a lot of heavy lifting on narratives, which I'm pleased to report are 98% finished. I do still have to write the transmittal letter, but one of the pieces of this puzzle is that the budget book now will include a section related to financial policies. And I did just want to show this to council and to folks at home. If you want to go out and try to win a budget award from the GFOA, the Government Finance Officers Association, or the state of Ohio, typically a section like this is required, where you sort of have to explain financial-related policies that your organization has adopted. What we've done here is similar to what our peer communities who have won awards in the past have done, where we are itemizing out the policies that we have and providing a brief description of what those policies include and the substantive points of the policies. For council's benefit, though, I do want to be very clear that this section does not have any new policies in it. What we're doing is trying to compile everything that's currently on the books and put that into this section just so folks know this is what we have on hand. In other words, I'm not going to ask you to adopt any new financial policies next year alongside the budget book, but I did want to show you that this is the location where these policies will live. And it kind of covers everything from authorized spending amounts, which of course we have ordinances about, but provides some information there, credit card usage, assets, which we've talked about quite a bit. And this is one of those sections in our budget book that really is a living element. So as council revisits these policies and adopts new policies if needed, This is one of those things that may change, evolve, and grow over time, year over year, with each budget book. I hope to have the budget book out to you all well in advance of next week's meeting, so I would look for it midweek, this week at the latest. I'll get it off to council in draft form, and then it will, we might not actually put it in the packet, because it might be too large. I will talk to Katie about the best way to do that. Once it's fully published, we're looking at over 250 pages or so of sheer financial transparency, which, as a budget nerd, I'm very excited about. So that'll be ready for you.
A lot of transparency.
Correct. That's all I have.
All right, well, I will let those folks joining us here in chambers and maybe viewing as well know that there is a executive session planned for near the conclusion of this meeting. So we'll move into council member discussion, and I'll go around the horn to see if anyone has anything they'd like to address this evening, starting with Councilmember Lomach.
Yes, I would like to thank the Service Department. Again, I think they go unheralded a lot of the time, but I see that the roads are treated already in advance of the storm tonight, and for that I will say kudos. Our police department has been very busy the last 3 days and I would like for you to at least tell the community that the chief's okay. Address that he's okay, because it was out on Facebook, so. Yeah. And thank everybody and wish everybody the leftover holiday.
I have something to say next meeting, but not today.
Not today. Okay, keep your powder dry, as they say. I will thank our service department as well, and I know they're likely to have a busy 24 hours ahead of them. I also would just point out to the folks in the community who are wondering and asking questions about the stormwater district and the stormwater assessment. Those are questions that we're happy to answer. We're happy to have those discussions, and we're happy to examine. I will also reiterate the point that the cost structure that was presented and talked about going back to 2014 was based on the amount of work that was needed to be done, based on the amount of maintenance that was deferred and infrastructure that was neglected. If you pay for trash in neighboring Beaver Creek, you're likely to pay twice what you pay in Riverside. You might say that's not fair, but that's also the policy that that city adopted by letting each resident go out and find their own trash provider. They don't have the economies of scale that we have here in Riverside. So our trash price is half what it is next door. The stormwater price the stormwater number that was determined by engineers in a 214-page study is based on the amount of work that needs to be done, not necessarily what the neighbors might be doing. Neighbors might have been doing maintenance far longer than we have, which is kind of the whole point, in my view. But I'm certainly happy to have these conversations, and I invite those discussions, and I thank the community for being involved. On to the Deputy Mayor.
I'll tack on to that. One of the issues that's been raised frequently and was raised again by Mr. Gosnell tonight is the tiering, where we have a tiering structure versus other communities may have a flat fee. Yeah, and I'll just be very forthright. I advocated for that posture. I felt that because I am concerned about the burden on the community, that those who live in very modest dwellings, don't have a whole lot of impervious surface, that they would not be bearing the shouldering that burden compared to people with larger estates. That was the rationale. That's what I asked for, and if you want to talk to me about that decision, I'd be happy to. That's it for tonight. Thanks.
All right. Mr. Denning.
I want us to all remember Matt Jackson and his family. They lost a family member, and the police department lost a officer who retired less than a year ago. K-9 Tina passed away, I believe it was yesterday. my wife got a text because she was so involved with Matt, and it was very disheartening, but I would like us to have a moment of silence. I know it was only a dog, but it was more than a dog to a lot of people, so. And she did a lot to get the community and the police department together, and I think it's important that we remember her.
Mr. Mayor? Can I make one, you brought up the subject of trash, because when we were a township, everyone could pick their own trash carrier. And the reason and the rationale behind going to one is because we had multiple, in my particular plat, there were 5 different trash companies coming through the plat, and that was not very healthy for the roads and the tearing up of our roads. And that was one of the reasons why, when we became a city, we also opted to go to one trash carrier. So we don't have multiple trash vehicles. I go through Beaver Creek. I see lots of trash carriers. So that was the rationale why we became a city, for those who still question that on the media.
I'd say this too. It's a perception of cost to live in a city, right? Beaver Creek, people brag about it. We lose contract. Well, businesses don't move in here because we pay income tax, right? But on average, a typical homeowner pays about $1,500 more in Beaver Creek, even though they're not paying income tax. It's a rough back of the napkin, quick internet research. But, I mean, we deliberated about the stormwater fee for the better part of a year, I want to say.
A few years.
And there's very limited engagement at that time. We were discussing the senior discounts. We were discussing the rainwater, or the collection of the rainwater to save you money. There was no engagement
Discounts.
back then.
Yeah.
And now we've passed it, and it's getting implemented, and we've made financial projections. The city has spent countless hours, countless hundreds of hours, countless thousands of dollars to give us the information to come up with the decision that we made, and we made it based on the education and the facts that we were provided. Nobody came out back then when we were discussing this. So, I mean, I'm going to have to pay this. I am no longer going to be a council member in 4 weeks, and I voted on this fact that I knew I was going to have to pay that. I knew that my grandmother-in-law is going to have to pay that. My uncle-in-law is going to have to pay that fee. So it's again, we are the consumer of this product that we produce, and I stand behind that decision that was made several months ago.
All right, so at this time, is there a motion to go into executive session for the reason listed on the
So
agenda?
moved.
Second.
We have a motion from Ms. Lomach and a second from Mr. Joseph. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
I feel better than
Ms.
when I got
Lamech?
here.
Ms.
Say yes.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Mr. Joseph?
Yes.
Mr. Denny?
Yes.
Ms. Fry?
Yes.
Mayor Williams?
Yes, we're in executive, 6:50 PM.